So, the last couple of days, there have been tons of conversation, Twitter chatter, Instagram chatter, TikTok chatter about wigs. Why? Because Sarah Jakes Roberts unapologetically snatched her wig off during a Sunday morning service while she was preaching. While we are not going to be talking about that today, we are going to be talking to Brooke Chanel, CEO of Wig Out LLC, celebrity hairstylist, and creator of Miracle Hair Growth Oil. You are here live on the Charlotte Mitchell Radio Show, our 700th episode. Yes, you heard that correctly. 700. This is episode 700. We're super excited to have you here. We're going to get right into it after this quick intro. Don't you move.
Whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Charlotte Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Charlotte Mitchell Radio Show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Charlotte Mitchell.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Charlotte Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard and seen all across the World Wide Web. And yes, you heard me correctly. Episode 700. Are you ready? Whole squad ready. Listen, we are celebrating all day long, all episode long, all show long. We are so excited that you are stopping by and you're listening in and you're watching. And those that are live on our live streaming platforms, we know that all of the notifications are coming out saying, come in and listen in to the Charlotte Mitchell Radio Show. We got to give a shout out, as always, to all of those that are listening from iTunes and Stitcher and Spotify and all of those places, certainly Blog Talk Radio. Those that are over on my YouTube channel, I know you like this content. Go ahead and hit subscribe, give us a heart, give us a like over there as well. And certainly those that just say, I stopped by Charvette.com. That's where I go and hang out and check out the show. We are excited to have you here. We see that YouTube is already jumping. Hey, YouTube, Kim, Deborah, Joe, Zonla, thank you for being over there. Hey, Sharon, thank you for stopping on in. Good. Yes, ma'am. 700. Yes. We are here. Fun fact. This show started September 2007. I know I look young, but it's true. September 2007 in studios of 1540 Rejoice Radio, downtown Richmond, Virginia on Broad Street. Then we transitioned to Blog Talk Radio, which we never left. Then we just kept on going, like literally just never stopped every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, that's how we got to 700 episodes. Not new to this, but absolutely true to this. Shout out to our sponsors. My upcoming conference, my 7th conference, coming in Richmond, Virginia, November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. November 2nd is for our VIPs, which is sold out, but November 3rd and 4th, we're looking forward to seeing you at the Platform Builder Summit. Yes, where we will help you amplify your brand and boost your profits. This is for our female entrepreneurs, those that are aspiring, all of that. I want you to be with us. PlatformBuilderSummit.com is where you can go. You'll hear a little bit more from our sponsors later on in the episode. Listen, my guest is in the virtual studio. She's ready and waiting to come up and chat. Hey, Mom, thank you for being in the audience as always. So let's jump right on in. I invite you to tag or to share or to invite a friend in and say, hey, this is an episode that you want to check out. So we have Brooke Chanel with us. Listen, all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina, native of Charlotte, North Carolina. She has 2 boys, beautiful boys. She has always had a love for hair from elementary school to college. And then she graduated from NCCU with a bachelor's in chemistry. She worked as a chemist for 5 years. A lot of big name companies, Proctor and Gamble. I know you've heard of that and more. She decided that her heart, though, was still with the hair industry and the hair field. She started her first hair company, Chanel B Hair Boutique, in 2012, then rebranded in 2014, and then did it again in 2019. Now she's the CEO of Wig Out LLC. And listen, she sells hair bundles and wigs and hair hats and clips, clip-in extensions and all of that. Her most prized accomplishment is the Miracle Hair Growth Oil. that she researched and developed on her own. And this oil has 100% satisfaction reviews. And last but not least, this is a great fun fact, I think. Her hair company is the first ever to be sold and delivered on DoorDash. Yes, you heard it correctly. Since 2022. Put your hands together. Hey, Lisa, thank you for popping on in. Hey, Michelle, thank you for coming on in. We see you. Put your hands together as we bring up our guests, Brooke Chanel. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. We are super excited to have you here on our episode 700. Like, I didn't even plan this like this.
First of all, congratulations to you, Charvette, on your radio show and 700. That is amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And we are glad to have you. Listen, Sharon is saying, good evening, Brooke.
Good evening.
To have you. So I'd love to kind of go back. Certainly, celebrity hairstylists, all in this hair industry, but started as a chemist, which probably somebody would look and say, oh, she's too pretty to be a chemist. In my mind, I'm thinking of, something else or somebody else, no diss or anything to chemist. But how was that journey for you, the chemistry journey, and how it evolved into this hair industry piece?
Thank you so much. So like you said, I've always been interested in hair. I've been doing my own hair and other people's hair since elementary school. It was just a gift, And so my mom always told me to make it a side second option. So, I did just that. I went to, in high school, I developed a love for chemistry. And so I was like, well, I'll just major in that. And so I went to North Carolina Central, majored in chemistry. I loved it. And so when I graduated, I worked in chemistry for about 5 years, like you said. And that love for hair just kept on being in the back of my mind, for something that was really my passion.
Yeah.
So I dove in and haven't looked back.
And haven't looked back. Was there a pivotal moment that you said, okay, this is transitioning? Because I know that there are listeners and viewers who may be at that space of, this is a side thing, but I want to make this my everything. Was there a pivotal moment or any experience you can remember?
I just remember kind of feeling unfulfilled, like in my spirit, and at that point I was like, it's time. Because like you said, I started my company in 2012 and I didn't fully quit chemistry until 2014. And so I was like, just wanting more freedom mentally, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm sure there are viewers and listeners that attest to that. Like, I need some mental freedom. And so when did the miracle hair, like the oil was, because that makes perfect sense, right? Chemist, this oil, like talk to us about that journey.
Okay. So in 2019, my last rebranding, actually my boyfriend came up with the name Wig Out. And so it stuck, and so we just kind of ran with it, added different products that we had before. And then we were like, alopecia is a big thing even now.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because even as a chemist at North Carolina Central, I was like, I want to come up with the hair growth oil. And somehow, some way I'm going to do it, Yeah. And so this was the perfect time. And so we came up with different, ingredients and different products and just to see and tested them to see what is really going to make the hair grow, Yeah. And so we came up with the formula and it's been going great. Like you said, zero complaints, like 100 satisfaction guarantees.
So how can listeners get a hold and they're like, oh girl, I need to put that on my edges.
Yes. So you can get the treatment on my website, www.wigouhair.com. And the links are also on both of the Instagrams that are posted right there. And we are also sold, I'm very proud that we're sold in the first Black hair braid shop in Rock Hill, Dazzled by Kay. And so our oil is sold there as well.
Wow. And if you're listening to the podcast version or the talk radio show version, look down below in the show notes. We have all of the links and all of our information for Brooke right there. And so okay, yes. You spoke it into existence. Absolutely. Listeners are agreeing. You spoke that into existence. And so celebrity hairstylist piece. So when did you start working with some of the celebrities? And if you're able to share any of the ones that you've worked with?
Definitely. So long story short, it was connections and networking and so that got the first celebrity. I've worked with Nene Leakes. I've worked with K Kilo, the rapper, and a few other celebrities on my resume.
Well, Nene's hair is always hitting and holding. So, shout out there. I see somebody saying, wow, and throwing up the hearts. Shout out there.
Thank you.
Our topic today, staying relevant as an entrepreneur. And so I feel like kind of during this time, people are feeling, if they are, the recession, I'm using quotes, some people participating and some not, feeling like, am I going to be the last? Am I going to be, so what are some suggestions or thoughts that you have for entrepreneurs of staying relevant?
Okay. So definitely always keep God first. I don't know what, the listeners' beliefs are, but whatever you believe is your higher power, stay connected to them and they'll make sure that everything works out. As far as relevance, I always say don't stick with trends, but create it. And so I feel like if you're creating the trend, you can never be off trend or never be not relevant. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's good. So like the hat, the hair hat or the hat hair, talk about, that's really creating something. Talk about that to the listeners, what that is and how you came up with that.
So with the hat hair, it was a situation where a lot of women that work out wanted to be able to wear something cute to the gym, and not to have to put on a whole wig or, have braids or anything like that. So I was like, well, if we connect hair to the hat, they can just put the hat on and it looks like their whole head is done. And so that stuck.
Oh, wow. And that's available on your website?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Listen, I'm definitely seeing hearts coming up for that. Like, yes. And so is it important to kind of look at what, the pain points are for our customers and try to, figure out, situations and products and services that solve for that?
Right. So one thing that I pride my company in is having the best product for also the best price. So my product is raw Cambodian hair that was sourced, straight from the vendor.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done a lot of research and development to find, a really good vendor for my audience. And so, and I made sure that my prices are competitive with, others that are in my same field, but also affordable. Mm-hmm. Everyone deserves luxury.
Yeah. And I think this definitely ties into staying relevant, because if we're not always kind of checking our pricing, checking, to make sure where other things are in comparison, and not that we're comparing each other, but do you agree that kind of that research and development is ongoing?
It is ongoing, like you said, because there are always new hair companies. They're always new, new everything. So like you said, you want to be competitive, but also affordable. I want to be affordable to everyone.
Yeah. How has social media played a role, over these years? You think 2012 now to, you still look young, I look young, we throwing these numbers around, but we all still young. How has social media and just played a role if you think back kind of 2012 to now 2013, 2023?
Right. Wow. Social media is a huge vehicle for my business that drives more clients, more customers, more just people interested in it. I feel like when we came up with the DoorDash thing, it was kind of like, whoa, you deliver on DoorDash, and so being able to provide that on Instagram and be able to show it on Instagram and show it to the world, I think that Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of the social media, I think it's a good platform for businesses and entrepreneurship.
And that example of being on DoorDash, like how much more, staying relevant, like certainly through the pandemic, everything, we've been able to get everything. But like, how did you even come up with that thought to say, hey, let's put our products there? And what are the things that people can get? And what do you know what regions it's available in and all that?
So Wig Out was actually literally the first hair company on the platform. And it's crazy because they were only food initially. And so when my boyfriend and I were talking about, well, we should be able to do DoorDash or deliver, the wigs and things like that, we were like, let's try it. We applied and they accepted. So our wigs are on there. The Miracle Hair Growth Oil, the hat hair is on DoorDash. So you can get it within 30 minutes.
Like mind blown. Do y'all understand this? First of all, trailblazer, because even if somebody else thought of it, whatever happened, it didn't come to fruition. So we give you a shout out there. Now there might be other people, follow suit, but I mean, that makes such perfect sense. Do you have to be in a certain area, certain location for this?
So right now it's only in Charlotte. But we do have plans to expand to different cities and things like that.
All right. So Charlotte, anybody know North Carolina? Listen. Anybody know? Thank you all for all of the congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yes, innovative. I love that. I think that this ties right into that. I'm a wig lady and I'll have to go back and watch from the start. Yes, thank you for mentioning that. If you're just coming on in, hey, you're checking out the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. We have Brooke Chanel here, CEO of Wig Out LLC. If you are saying, hey, I want to hear from the beginning, all of our shows, wherever you are watching, wherever you are listening, you can go back and watch that and listen. Michelle is saying congratulations as well.
Thank you so much.
Chef in Atlanta. Stevie I am in Greensboro, North Carolina. So I definitely know people in Charlotte. Yes, tag them, send them her way. Florida, look, Florida is saying, put us in.
Yes, our website ships worldwide. So definitely Florida.
Oh, okay, great. So let me throw that up. So we've got the website information there. So, and I love this thought because again, if you all someone just came in, I talked about there's a whole lot of stuff going on about wigs because Sarah Jakes Roberts snatched her wig off during the sermon. Some people got whatever comments, whatever. I love her. I'm like, own your own narrative and, do you. But it used to be more of a stigma related to wigs. And now it's very like fashion forward and all that. Talk a little bit about, which lends into staying relevant. Talk a little bit about kind of like that evolution, I think, of it not being whatever for some people.
Right. So I think that the beginning of wigs, kind of back in like my grandmother's days and things like that, it wasn't like lace front, HD lace and everything like that. So they kind of look like costumey, and, you can tell they have it on. But nowadays with the lace and it being laid and all that stuff, I mean, you can't tell if someone's wearing a wig if they're not. And then I think because so many people wear them, it's kind of just an everyday thing.
Yeah, there you have it. There you have it. Let me capture it. Okay, thank you, Stevie. She's tagging North Carolina in. Tagging. Thank you. I didn't have my wigs for 23 years now, and I have hair. Love them. Yeah. So thank you, Lisa, for bringing this up. Any comment related to that? Sometimes people feel like person must not have hair to wear a wig.
Right. So I also let people know that wigs are for, people that are trying to grow their hair, but they're also for people that have natural hair and they're just trying to maintain it, or they just want a different look. Yeah. So I've been using my Miracle Hair Growth Oil from the beginning. I was my first guinea pig. Yeah. And this is my natural hair right now.
I can tell, and it's beautiful.
Thank you so much. But I also wear wigs. Yeah. If I want to switch up my look, if I'm just wanting my hair to just be chill, braid it down, and things like that. They're very versatile.
Awesome. Staying relevant as an entrepreneur. Kind of as we continue to have this conversation, what do you say to the person maybe that is starting and they want to be in the same industry, this beauty industry, this hair industry? What do you say to that? I got a couple people I want you to talk to, but for the first person is like they want to get started in this industry. Any tip that you have for them?
Definitely. I think one myth about the hair company, I mean, the hair business specifically, is that it's oversaturated. But for the fact that it's high in the billions as far as revenue when it comes to hair, it's room for everyone.
Right.
Do not be afraid to start. And that's what you have to do. You have to start. You have to hit the ground. You have to run. Do your research. Don't cut corners. Yeah. And just really put your all into it. If it's something you love, it's gonna grow.
Awesome. And so then what do you say to, say, the hairstylist who's behind the chair on their feet and they're saying, okay, I'm cool, but this doesn't, like 5 years from now, I don't want to be doing this. And I want to incorporate products. I want to sell hair versus just putting it in. Any thought or recommendation? And if you do coaching in this space, if they can contact you, certainly share.
Definitely. So I can definitely be contacted via my Instagram, Brooke Chanel _ or at Wig Out Wigs. And I definitely do coaching with things like that. But if you're wanting to start, I'm sorry, can you repeat your question? I'm so sorry.
They just wait. There's a hairstylist who's behind the chair on their feet, but they want to start including products, whatever that may look like.
Right. So as a stylist, I say that you have a leg up because you already have the clients that want what you're trying to produce, And so as you're doing your research and development, do it on your clients, make sure, see how they like it. Get a, you can do a survey and see what they like, what they don't like, and then weed it out that way and figure out, and stick to it.
Yes, I think that's great actually for all entrepreneurs. That thought process and mindset right there is great for all entrepreneurs. Let's just checking out. I love the comments. Y'all keep them coming. Thank you so much for sharing. So their impacts to hair, hormones, and things of that nature. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing. A win-win for the collaboration with the business and the DoorDash. Talk about broadening the scope. I mean that like how many more people know about your company now that might have just been scrolling DoorDash and like didn't even know anything about you before?
Wow. Definitely. I've definitely had messages and DMs and things like that saying, oh, I didn't, maybe they didn't hear about my company until they saw it, like you said, scrolling on DoorDash. Wow. And they were just shocked, like, you sell hair on DoorDash? You sell wigs? I'm like, yeah, like you can get it delivered straight to your door.
Crazy to me. Crazy good. And I think a perfect example of like staying relevant. Now you also have kind of in this space of staying relevant, you are an ambassador, you're a new ambassador, like 1 out of 10 people in the United States. So talk about this new ambassadorship that you have.
I have a couple ambassadorships. So first, I want to shout out Glambitious I Am, Lily May, because she's the one that linked me with your radio show. Shout out to them. I'm an ambassador for Glambitious. And I'm also one of the 10 chosen to be an ambassador for the Slingshot, Polaris Slingshot.
Wow. Okay. Did you drive one before or like how you were like, what is that like?
So before this, I actually never had driven a Slingshot, but they reached out to me via Instagram and told me about their new initiative to get ambassadors and told me that they would like for me to be one of them. I was really shocked. I'm not even going to tell the story. I was shocked. But it's very cool. They sent me a free Slingshot, to get content in and things like that. And it's been going great.
Wow. And you can see pictures on her Instagram of all of that, which shout out to like the thousands and thousands and thousands of followers on Instagram through your network. Thank you for sharing about being here. Yes, we love that. Amazing. And we love Lily May. Absolutely. We love her.
We love Lily May.
Yeah, we love her. And so I love this. And the ambassadorship is kind of like that influencer marketing, something that you might not have necessarily heard about even 10 years ago or so. How do you think that will help with staying relevant, as an entrepreneur?
I think that when we link with other companies, especially bigger companies,
Yeah.
it's giving us a platform, for ourselves and for our businesses. More people come like, oh, okay, who was that? Okay, who was that? And a lot of it goes off of, people go off of looks, or people go off of, things like that. But then after that, they get deeper and they're like, okay, this person really has some substance, or really has real things going on. And so it really drives your numbers up.
All the way up. So one more time, all of your contact information, how people can shop, how they can get coaching and consulting with you, buy products. Give us all the deets.
Okay, so again, my name is Brooke Chanel, and my personal Instagram is Brooke Chanel _. My business is Wig Out Wigs, and on Instagram is at Wig Out Wigs. Also on Facebook. And I'm also on TikTok, Brooke Chanel, Twitter, Brooke Chanel _. And you can get my products online, www.wigouthair.com. And the links are in those bios as well.
All right, there you go.
And about the hair growth oil, again, if you're in Rock Hill, South Carolina, you can go to Dazzled by K Braid Bar, and they have the hair growth oil as well.
Great. And so the hair growth oil, is that for your whole head? Is it for edges? Because sometimes it's a specialty. How do you use it?
So the oil is actually created as a treatment. So it's not an everyday oil. It's because it's concentrated, but it's all natural. So you put it all throughout your hair and also on your hair strands. And you can let it sit up to 24 hours, and then shampoo, condition your hair as normal.
All right, there you have it. Well, our time has flown by. The last question that I have for you is related to the goal of the show, which is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we want to know what continues to motivate Brooke Chanel.
Wow. Well, I would definitely say my number one motivation are my children. I have two amazing boys, Jalen and Miles. Jalen is going to be 15 this year.
Oh,
and
wow.
Miles is going to be 10. And so they're my inspiration. Just, Are you a mother?
I am not auntie. I'm the cool auntie.
Yes, cool auntie. So, that love is just a motivation, and it's wanting the best for my children, better than I ever had, better than, they could ever imagine, and just want them to see mommy doing what she loves and being happy in it.
And staying relevant as an entrepreneur. Yes. And there's something special about boys and moms. Like one of my best friends, she's certainly mom, son, shout out to Evan. And there's just a special connection with moms and boys. So.
There he is.
Wow. Well, thank you for stopping by, and we wish you much more continued success in all of your journey.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, and congratulations again on 700 shows. Okay, clap for that.
Yes. Thank you so much. All right, whole squad here, whole squad ready. Just type 700 in the chat. Type 700 in the chat. Type 700 in the chat, so that people know that you were here live and you are celebrating with us for this 700th episode. Wow, I'm telling you, keep going. Keep going. That's all I got to tell you. Keep going. What's the beautiful thing about this show is that I have not had to push it. It has pulled me. I have not had to push it. It has pulled. Listen, I see the 700. Thank you for celebrating. Hey, Dolores. Thank you for celebrating with us and for being amazing live viewers. Certainly shout out to all of our podcast viewers, listeners who catch this later on, and those that check us out on Charvette.com and all of the platforms. We thank you. A real quick video about our sponsor for today, and then we'll wrap things up. Don't you move.
Get ready for the Platform Builder Summit, hosted by Mitchell Productions and produced by Charvette Mitchell, where we will amplify your brand and boost your profits. Kicking off Thursday, November 2nd, 2023 with our VIP day for VIP guests only. And Friday, November 3rd and Saturday, November 4th, 2023 for all summit attendees. Enjoy main stage speakers. panel discussions, and breakout sessions. All of this hosted in person at the 4 Points by Sheraton, Richmond, Virginia. Register today at www.platformbuildersummit.com. We believe that every emerging woman business owner and leader has the potential to grow their business by shining a spotlight on their expertise. With the right marketing tools, resources, and support, you can achieve your goals and take your business to new heights. Reserving your seat at the Platform Builder Summit is the next step in that direction. Go to www.platformbuildersummit.com for tickets and more information. We cannot wait to see you November 2nd to 4th in Richmond, Virginia.
All right. I know you all like that beat. I want to see you here in Richmond, Virginia. This is a personal invitation, platformbuildersummit.com. Grab your ticket. VIP is sold out. Thank you, Carlethia, for wishing me 700. Thanks, mommy. That's my real biological mom. Thank you, Stevie. You are incredibly dope as well. Thank you for all of the congratulations. Yulika, thank you for stopping on in. Yes, and she is one of our speakers and one of our sponsors for the Platform Builder Summit. Thank you so much for being here in the audience. It is a wrap. We are gone for today. Check back next episode, 701, next week. Go to charvette.com. That gives you all of our past guests and who is coming up. And we thank you for being with us on this journey. Continue. Big things and big and bad things are continuing to happen. And you're going to be able to say, I know her. I know that girl. I know her. I promise you. Just hold on a little bit longer. Bye.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you've been listening to the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. Catch Charvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m., interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. This is the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show.